Hey guys, I'm also boksh from Cheflovestech, and today we'll be building a PC. This is going to be a gaming PC. So the first thing we have to do is actually just clear your workspace, and also if there's any carpet or rug laying around, we should roll it up. So the first component we have is the AMD FX 6300 6-core processor, 3.5 GHz. The second one is the 500 watt EVGA 80 plus bronze power supply. We also have the EVGA GeForce GTX 960 graphics card. For the motherboard, we have the MSI G43970A motherboard. It is AM3 plus. We have the Cooler Master K380 case, ATX. We also have 8 GB of RAM. It's Fury HyperX. We have just normal DVD drive. Western Digital Caviar 1 TB hard drive. So the first thing we do is we unscrew the case. So here you can see I'm starting with the Windows side. Keep the screws in a safe location. So I'm sliding off now and put that somewhere safe. Now I'm going to slide the other side off. So these are just thumb screws that you can unscrew with a screwdriver and then with your fingers. So there you go, there's the case fully opened. Now what we're going to do first is install the 500 watt power supply. So as you can see, I'm taking it out of the packet. Sorry if you can hear my computer fan in the background. So there you go, there's the power supply. You can see it's not modular, it's all fixed. So as you can see, I put it in there. Make sure it's in the correct location. The fan is at the bottom, so it sucks in air from the bottom and then outputs it at the back of the computer. There's the screws. These are the screws that we are going to be using to screw in the power supply to the case. So as you can see, you can first put them in with your thumb. There's 4 places to put the screws in. So that's where I put them in. I do have a bit of trouble, but then at the end I do it. So remember to screw it in diagonally, so it will avoid damaging the product. There you go. Now what we should do is plug in the cable to the back of the power supply and also plug it in, but not turn it on the power supply. So we touch that and then we electrostatically ground ourselves. So now I'm just taking the motherboard out of its packet. We're going to be working on the motherboard on top of the box, which is a safe place to put it. So there's a CD for the drivers, 2 SATA cables and the I/O shield. So there you go, I'm taking it out. It's in a electrostatic free cover, like a packet. So we place the motherboard on top of the box. There you go, that's the motherboard. So the first things we are going to be installing is the processor on the left and the RAM on the right. So I take it out of the packet, you can see the cooler and the processor as well as the manual and the sticker. There we go. There's the processor. There's a little golden notch on the processor which shows an arrow, which matches up with the motherboard, and it will show you where to actually put it. So here you can see I'm releasing the retention clip. And you'll see there's a little arrow on the corner of the socket. Right there, on the bottom left, you can see there's a arrow. I do have a bit of trouble here focusing the camera on it, but at the end I do it. There you go, top right you can see another arrow. That matches up with the processor. The socket and processor is AM3+. There we go. Remember to just drop it in. Don't put any force on it at all, otherwise it will break. So now we flip the retention clip back. So there we go, now we're going to be installing the cooler. I can't do this on camera properly, so I'll skip it and then show you what happens next. So there you go, there's the cooler on. We flip the other retention clip to the other side. There's a fan wire there that connects to the CPU fan header on the motherboard. So now we are going to be installing the RAM. There it is. There's a special notch on the RAM itself, which only goes in a special way. So we're going to be installing in dual channel configuration, which is where we either put it in the 2 blues or the 2 blacks. We do this because it will enable faster allocating of the memory. So here I put it in the 2 blues. So now we are going to pop the front of the case off so we can install the CD drive. So we take that small header off. There you go, slide that in and then we screw it in with either the no tool brackets that came with it or the screws. There you can see I am putting it in. Now we are going to be installing the hard drive. Now we're going to be installing the I/O shield. This is the part where the ports on the motherboard align to. There you can see it was in. Now we're going to be installing the risers. So the risers go onto the case. It stops the motherboard touching the case. Also, they can see I was pointing to the screws. They can see the risers have been installed, sorry. And now we are going to be screwing the motherboard onto the case, onto the risers actually. So there we go. I've also put the graphics card in. It just goes into the PCIe slot. So now I'm screwing the graphics card in properly. This might be different for each graphics card. Also each case. So now we are going to be installing the wires. That's the speaker wire, which makes that small beep noise when you turn on the computer. So those are the wires that we install onto the motherboard. They have a special configuration on the motherboard, which you should see the manual before installing. There you go. I've also put in all the power cables. The power cables on this one are labelled, so they know where to go. SATA cables, hard drive, also to the optical drive. And the graphics card, 24-pin ATX power, and the 8-pin for the CPU, which can also be 4-pin. Those are the stickers. So now I guess it's just a test to turn it on, see if it works. I had a bit of trouble at first, but then I realised the ATX pin wasn't connected properly. So there you go, that's on, the red LED on the fan. There's the BIOS. There you go, that's it guys. Computer done. You can see it works fine. There's Windows installing.